I am right here in New York City where the mayor, Eric Adams, has mentioned that they will take a look at some of the mandates and rules that require vaccination status for people in certain places. One of those people is Kyrie Irving. One of those places is the Barclays Center. Jalen, in a world in which Kyrie Irving can play both road and home games, how does that affect your view of the Eastern Conference?
Still got to see Ben Simmons. I believe they're 4-10 in games Kyrie has played this year. So they're still going to need Ben Simmons to be that third dominant force if they're going to upend the defending world champion Milwaukee Bucks and the Miami Heat. And so having Kyrie available for home games is a win for the Nets in a lot of ways. But I just want to make sure I say this. Some of you people who aren't old enough to remember the Three Stooges, the first person I hear that try to cheerlead Kyrie not getting vaccinated and them changing the law, lifting the restriction, and cheerleading like he won or like he did something, and I was like Einstein, I'm gonna give them a Benny Hill smack to the forehead. Seriously. Like, the only thing the gentleman did was a personal choice. He decided not to get vaccinated. Fortunately for him, he now has a mayor who hopes to lift that restriction. But the one thing that mayor is now going to run into, around 1,300 people got laid off because they weren't vaccinated. So the optics won't look good if he lifts the restrictions, and it seems to so very many that he's doing so that allows a basketball player to compete in playoff games.
Well, you mentioned Ben Simmons coming back to the Nets. Eventually he will play. And there's also James Harden to the 76ers, who's going to add to that roster. However, when we talk to you about your tiers in the Eastern Conference, you have neither the Nets or the Sixers in your top tier of the East. Why is that, and who do you have in that top tier in the East?
Consistency. I would have did that with the Suns, except they only got 20 or so games left, and I think they're going to hold on to the number one seed. In the West, my tier 3 was all based on injury and health. And so for this, the exact same thing. To me, my tier for the Bucks, Giannis has been dominant to the point where he might win MVP if they're going to have a better record than the Sixers. Yep. And then the Heat have Eric Spoelstra. And all he does is continue to reinvent his roster around Bam and around Jimmy. But for the Bucks, we got to give them their credit, man. Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, a lot of people felt he couldn't be the second best player on the championship team. A lot of people wanted to see their coach Bud fired. And yet he just lifted them to the championship. And so as Giannis continues to make free throws and make threes, I got to give them their props. And Jimmy Butler and Bam, the same thing. They won the East the year prior. They added Kyle Lowry, Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson. Like, they have a level of depth and defensive tenacity. Like, they're the team in the league that can hold somebody under 90 points, hold somebody under 100 points. And so based on that, that's my tier. Everything we're going to say about the Nets is what if Ben Simmons comes back. Everything we're going to say about the Sixers is how's James Harden going to fit with Embiid. Those things still need to get ironed out. These things, I know what I'm going to get today.
Jalen, I have 2 questions regarding tier 2. When is Ben Simmons going to come back, and how is James Harden going to fit with Joel Embiid?
That's right. You see what I'm saying? And so, like, I can't wait to see Ben Simmons play, by the way. Like, I know that being traded and going to a new situation, you know, a lot of times we have to reinvent ourselves as players. It's a beautiful thing when your skill set matches the best players on the other team. I went on Get Up when we launched that show in 2018, and I said the apex of Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid don't fit because they occupy the same real estate on the floor, the painted area, the restricted area when they're at their best. Well, guess where KD's his best? All over. So Ben ain't gonna be in his way. He gonna be at the 3, he gonna be at the elbow, he gonna be at the top of the key. So Ben ain't gonna be in his way. And guess what Kyrie doesn't wanna do? Lead the team in assists. That's gonna be Ben's job. So therefore, they're not gonna worry about Ben Simmons shooting. As a matter of fact, they'll cheer if he never shoots. They got plenty of guys that can shoot. And so based on that and Curry and adding Drummond. Like, I love the Nets. I love the Sixers. And both of those squads are healthy. Of course they're going to push the Heat. Of course they're going to push the Bucks.
Well, especially without Joe Harris, the Nets needed two things desperately. They needed better defense and they needed shooting. And with Curry and Simmons and Drummond, they did that overnight. However, when we talk about these two teams, they look better on paper to me than your tier one teams, the Bucks and the Heat. However, we just need to see it. Because I think when we readdress this in 2 or 3 weeks, we might feel differently about it. I just need to see it. I need to see Ben Simmons on the court. I need to see James Harden throwing the ball to Joel Embiid. I need to see them work together. This is why this stretch run in these playoffs are so exciting to me in both conferences, because there are so many question marks. There are so many years we went into the league in the regular season. Oh, it's probably going to be the Cavs and the Warriors in the finals. And guess what? It was the Cavs and the Warriors in the finals. I have absolutely no idea what's going to happen for the rest of this year, and that's why it's so exciting.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.